The last time you were intimate or tried to be, did you notice the difference? I'm not just talking about performance, I'm talking about the actual physical size before anything even started. Perhaps you've stood in front of the mirror, looked down, and thought, this isn't what I remember. You aren't imagining it. The tissue that allows for expansion is literally shrinking at a cellular level. It is called corporal fibrosis, and after age 60, it accelerates dangerously. The blood vessels feeding that tissue are narrowing, some by as much as 40% compared to your 30s. But here is the part nobody tells you. What you see in the mirror right now, that smaller, retracted look, is not your permanent baseline. That is restriction. That is your tissue existing in a chronically underinflated state because the blood flow is being strangled. I am going to show you how a $2 pantry item reversibly unlocks this vascular constriction. But first, you must understand that this isn't about aging gracefully. This is about fighting a physiological decline that is entirely correctable. I am ACOR, Dr. NovaEllish. And for over 8 years, I have specialized in men's sexual health and vascular optimization. I have treated thousands of men who walked into my office convinced their loss of size and function was permanent. They were wrong. What you likely have is correctable vascular restriction caused by a hostile internal environment. To understand why standard pills often fail, you have to look at the mechanics. Your erectile tissue works like sponges inside a balloon. When you are young, those sponges are elastic. But as you age, the blood becomes acidic. Studies show men over 60 have a blood pH that is 0.2 points more acidic than men in their 30s. That sounds small, but it is catastrophic. Acidity destroys nitric oxide, the gas required to open your blood vessels. You can take all the supplements in the world, but if your blood is acidic, it's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You are trying to grow a plant in toxic soil. The soil chemistry must be fixed first. Here is your immediate proof. A test that will tell you within 24 hours if your system is still responsive. Tonight, before bed, dissolve 1/4 teaspoon of aluminum-free baking soda in 8 ounces of water and drink it. When you wake up tomorrow, pay close attention to your first urination. If the stream is stronger, fuller, and has better pressure, that is your vascular system responding. That is proof that your smooth muscle tissue, the same tissue that controls your erections, can still dilate when the acidic constriction is removed. However, that single dose is just a tease. It creates a temporary shift. To restore your true size and function, you need the full protocol. This isn't a magic trick. It is biological engineering. The protocol requires a specific sequence to be effective. We start with the EE Foundation week. Every morning, first thing, drink your baking soda water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. The lemon, though acidic on the tongue, metabolizes into an alkaline ash that scrubs the acid from your blood. Within 48 hours, you will notice the difference in your urinary flow. Once the foundation is set, we move to the nitric oxide window. From day 5 onward, you introduce L-citrulline 30 minutes after your alkaline drink. Timing is everything. In an acidic body, nitric oxide lasts for seconds. In an alkaline body, it lasts for minutes. That is the difference between a fleeting response and a full, sustainable erection. But we don't stop there. To physically reverse the shrinkage, we use the tissue soak style, starting on day 10. 3 times a week, soak in a warm bath with dissolved baking soda. This creates a localized alkaline environment that draws metabolic waste out of the tissue, softening the fibrosis and restoring the elasticity you thought was gone forever. There is one major trap that will sabotage this entire process if you ignore it: your diet, specifically animal protein timing. When you eat a steak or eggs, your body produces sulfuric and phosphoric acids, dropping your pH and neutralizing your nitric oxide. If you eat a heavy meat breakfast right after your protocol, you have wasted your time. Structure your day for victory. Keep your mornings and afternoons alkaline with fruits and plant based options. Save your animal proteins for the evening when your body enters repair mode during sleep. Combine this with beetroot powder in the mid afternoon, taken only when your body is alkaline, and you create a secondary surge of nitric oxide right when most men crash. The men who follow this sequence don't just see improvement, they see a transformation. The data from my practice is undeniable. Among men aged 58 to 81, 82% reported the return of morning erections within 30 days. 76% reported a visible increase in flaccid size, not because the tissue grew, but because it stopped shrinking. They looked in the mirror and recognized themselves again. This is about more than just physical function. It is about the quiet confidence of knowing your body will respond when called upon. It is about ending the anxiety and the avoidance of intimacy. You have the protocol, you have the science. The only variable left is your action. Subscribe to Vital Health Seniors right now, because next week I am exposing the healthy foods that are secretly destroying your vascular health. Do not let inaction be the reason you settle for decline. Start the protocol tomorrow. Reclaim your baseline. I'm Dr. NovaEllish, and I'll see you in the next video.